friends talking to me about building podcasts. I've had several people asking me recently, and so I thought, you know what, I do like to help people, and I was like trying to figure out the best way to help my friends. And so here in Nashville, I just helped set up a podcast for my worship leader, Robbie. It's called Pitt Brothers. It's about Pittsburgh Steelers, Pittbros, and so you can check those guys out. But today I'm talking about how to set up your own podcast, become an influencer, build your own business, whatever you want to do. Things that I've been doing. This is stuff that's in my wheelhouse because it's what I do. It's all I do all day is I do stuff, and I have podcasts and different things like that. So we're going to talk about that. I have an outline in the YouTube description video. I have this outline. I'm going to go right through it. It's going to be, this could be a longer video, but just watch all the way to the end. Like the videos, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not. And this video is specifically, it goes out to Hannah. Now, Hannah is my Facebook friend, and she's also doing like, Monat or Monat. I don't even know if it's Monat or Monet or Monat. I think it's Monat. It's hair care. Anyway, and anyway, side note, Hannah, by the way, I actually have Monat. I don't know. My wife got some. It's like hair gel. So I use the hair gel now, and it's like awesome. I don't know. It's like, that's beside the point. So anyway, but Hannah's working on her Monat business and wants to do a podcast. So I asked her a couple questions, and I'm going to go through this with you. All of these links are supported in the video description. And if you guys really love this, I'll make an online course for this. I may make a whole course for this on the platform, but I'm going to lay this out on YouTube right now. So the introduction is you want a podcast. And the first question I'm going to ask you, is it audio or audio and video both? And so when I asked Hannah that, she's like, I never even thought of that. And that's the thing. Our podcast, the Worship Band Builder podcast, is audio and video, and you can see it here laid out on my website. So basically, this is our website. It has our podcast, which I use Buzzsprout for, which you can listen to, and it goes on Spotify and iTunes and everything like that. Then I also have a video on YouTube, so you can actually go on the YouTube video. So let me see what this one is. Podcast number 28. So I have a whole intro, and we have microphones. I have much shorter hair. It's my wife, and so you can see that's us talking. We've done, if you check this out, we've done a ton of different podcasts, different video kind of things like that. And if you look, podcasts should be video. The other thing, if you don't want to be on video, then you could do video with just a plain image. So you just say my podcast, your logo, and they could just listen to it, because a lot of people just listen to podcasts on YouTube. I would not leave YouTube out, but the question you have to ask yourself first is, do I want this to be audio podcast only, which is a lot easier because there is no video. You can still use YouTube. You just would put an image up. It's totally fine. I think that's totally fine. Or do you want to get pretty fancy and you want to have a video of yourself talking, which if you already do some stuff, you're going to know that's a lot more work. You got to do your hair every time, or you got to put on a hat, whatever you got to do. You got to look good, especially if you're doing like healthcare products, you want to do all that. So I think video would be good. So we're going to go from that. So no matter what you do, video or audio or both, you're going to need good, clean sound. Okay, so this is probably the most important part of the podcast is the audio. If the audio is good, even if you just have an image for the video, it's fine. So I'm gonna show you what I started with. I'm gonna give you some options. Sm57 windscreen. Okay, so the Sm57 microphone is about $100, and I'm going to give you just different options. And you can put this windscreen on it, and that's what we have in these videos here that I was doing. Here I have a 57 on a stand with a 57 windscreen. These sound great. They're like $100. Okay, so that's a regular microphone. It's a Shure Sm57. So just hold on though, because I'm not saying you should go out and buy any of this. I'm going to give you options and show you which one's easier. So it's this mic, but really any mic would do. If you also want to just type in podcast mic and go your own route, I don't think any of them are like so much better than others. The one I'm using right now is this. Funny, it popped up. This is probably the most popular podcast mic. I just found this on eBay. I got a killer deal, but it's expensive, and I had almost 100 episodes finished, and I've done a lot before I ever bought one of these. And I only bought one because I got this just stupid deal on them, okay? And if not, they were just way kind of out of my price comfortability. I didn't want to spend that money. The $100 SM57 works really good. And then the Amazon PYLE. So PYLE makes a mic, and I'm going to see if I can find it. It's basically a knockoff of the SM57. It's on Amazon. And so it's basically, I have those links. It's called a PYLE, Amazon PYLE 57. So it literally looks like it's $15. I mean, this is crazy. You know what I mean? It's $15, and I'm going to show you this on Amazon here. It's $15. It looks just like a Shure 57. You know, it says it's unavailable, but you can get them anywhere. PYLE 57, PYLE mic, PYLE. It looks just like this. I have a couple of these. I A/B'd them. I couldn't tell the difference really. I mean, yeah, there's a little difference, but I'm not trying to be an audio head here. I'm just saying you can get a basic PYLE microphone. So I'm going to pull this over here. Let's drop this over here and let's get back to Sweetwater. So when you're buying a real mic like this, and if you do buy a real mic like this, you're going to have other items. You're going to have like a mixing console or a Zoom H4, Zoom H4n. So any of this stuff can kind of get expensive. I'm going to show you some cheaper ways, but I'm going to show you the H4n Pro. Let's see if it'll go there. I have this sort of recorder here. You can plug a couple microphones into it. You could get one of these on eBay. A Zoom H4 on eBay is probably only $100. And so you can plug some microphones into them, hit record, and this is one of the best ways to do it if you want a really good microphone sound. And then you want to do Zoom H4. Like I said, you can get these for a couple $100, something like this, okay? You can plug a few mics into them. You turn this thing on. It records onto an SD card, pop it into your computer. You're kind of becoming an audio producer at this moment when you're doing this, okay? The other way you can do it is you can just do USB podcast mic, okay? This is probably the cheapest way to go, and you can just get a USB podcast mic, not the real expensive ones. Let me show you ones on Amazon here. USB, I have some of these in my studio that are really cheap, like $49, $45. Here you go. The Blue Yeti is a really, really popular mic. Many YouTubers have them, but check this one out. This is the microphone I love. USB microphone for fine metal condenser. I have this microphone. They did send it to me to test it out at one point, and this microphone's amazing for $25. I mean, it's phenomenal. So if you're just going to be a single person talking into a microphone for a podcast, and you want to make it super easy by using just your computer, get a USB microphone like this. This would be easy to do, okay? If not, you're going to have to get like the 57 and the mic cable, then the stand, and like this little stand right here. Like, see, look at this, $49. You get the stand that looks all legitimate. I don't like this pop filter, but you get the microphone and the stand, you know. So I would get this mic right here for fine microphone, USB input, and buy like a $15 boom arm, okay? If you're going to do it not on video, you don't even need a boom arm. You could just set it on any little stand, or I think it comes with a little stand anyway. So you just want to talk into it. This microphone does require a little pop filter, so I would do that for fine pop filter. If you're confused about any of this, like this is the little pop filter. I love this pop filter right here. You can go to my website that says worshiptheking.com/tech, and I have a gear list. And if you click on this gear list, I have a lot of the gear that I own on this list, listed off with all my favorites down here, live streaming, recording, the SM58, everything I've talked about, mostly I have. And I'll add another thing for, I don't know why this video is unavailable. I'll add another for podcast, okay? So that if you go to this gear list, you'll see a lot of the gear I'm talking about. So a lot of stuff, this can be done for super cheap. The reason I like the USB option is because you can take your Mac computer, you can open up Garageband, you can plug in the USB microphone with a little pop filter, and you can have phenomenal sound, okay? The other thing that if you want to do video, you can do, I did this a lot. I'd use my iPhone, and I did that a lot. Rode Video Mic, okay? I have a Rode Video Mic, one of these microphones right here, $150. This one's only $95. You can pick one of these versions, $115 for this one. And you can plug this into your iPhone. You can do video and audio. This mic sounds really good. And you can, a lot of filmmakers use it. You can use it for a lot of different stuff. The other mic that I love, that I absolutely love, that's actually even cheaper, and I have this microphone. It blows away the Rode microphones, in my opinion. It's $40. And this is it right here. You can put this microphone right here in front of you, or you can put it right outside of the camera. So if you put your iPhone on a stand and then you put your little microphone right above you and speak into it, it goes right into your iPhone, and then you have your whole podcast. You have your audio recorded and your video. So that is actually a way to do it as well. Even if you don't want video, use your video camera, use this little mic, and then just take it into your computer and extract the audio out of the video. Anything like that can be done. But still, I think the easiest method for a real beginner, so that doesn't want a lot of expense or a lot of finagling with equipment, is just get a USB microphone, plug it into your computer, open up GarageBand or Logic or something like that you already have. GarageBand is free, and Logic costs $200. So there might be a little bit of an investment. But to do a podcast just with audio, you don't even need Logic. GarageBand will do it. Even the free program called Audacity will do it. You just need some kind of editor, and that was my next thing in this, editing it. So let's say you get you capture the audio, whether it's through your iPhone, whether it's through your computer into GarageBand, whether it's through a little Zoom recorder or a little $99 mini disc recorder. Any of these things are going to become good tools for you to use, okay? Because your big thing is you're trying to record good, clean audio. If you need help like recording audio, then just go through my gear list. And then I also have on this thing, tech downloads and tech downloads, which would give you I'm going to upload one for you, Hannah. I'm going to upload one that just shows a couple different versions of how to hook up, like a microphone to your computer. And they're like little versions of these. So it's pretty simple. So you can see plug this into that. So that's something that could help you, but you're basically going to have to also go on YouTube and type in, how to use a USB microphone with my computer, how to use a Rode microphone into my iPhone. I have videos on that, and then also there are tons of YouTubers that show you how to do this. So you're going to have to get versed in a little bit of, how to record yourself, and then how to edit it. You edit it through GarageBand. And then let's say you're done with it, you would export the audio file, your podcast would be ready to go, and then you would go to Buzzsprout is what I use, and you sign up for a $12 a month account, and you upload your episodes. Now Buzzsprout will allow you to hook this to all directories. So you can go to Apple, you can go to Spotify, and I don't know why it says I'm not listed on Apple. I think I already was. You can get on Amazon. This takes some time. The easiest one to get on is Spotify. But these other ones are very specific, so you can get on as many as you wanted to. Also with Buzzsprout, once you get done with this, you don't even need to be on Spotify. You can just take your episode and you can embed it in your website. So that's what I did over here. I took an embed code and put it into my website. And that's how you would do that on Buzzsprout. And that's kind of gets into distribution. I'm going to go back to live streaming, because let's say that you got your thing all set up and you're ready to go, and you think, I want to do live streaming. And this is the way I do all of my podcasts. This is kind of the way I'm doing this video right here, and using a program called Restream.io. And Restream.io is a really powerful, easy to use sort of studio program for you to record yourself. So you could use Restream.io to actually do your whole podcast, record your entire podcast, live stream your podcast. It also records to the cloud so that you can download your podcast audio, upload it to Buzzsprout. So Restream.io is my favorite, and that's what I started my friend Robbie out this week on. And he learned it in an hour, just touching around on the screen and figuring it out. Signed up for, I think, a $12 or $16 a month account. And then it can become your whole studio. So I like that version of just simply having a USB audio microphone and going on Restream. And when you go into Restream, you can go into the live studio and you can basically do everything you want right through Restream. And maybe I can show you Restream. I'm not sure. I think I am logged into Restream because I'm streaming through Restream right now. So right now I'm streaming this whole podcast through Restream, okay? So basically what's going on out of my computer is being restreamed in here. And if you go, I don't know if I can actually go over to the live stream, the live studio right now, because I'm actually streaming. So I don't want to mess it all up. I should be streaming anyway. And it should already be going live. But in this setup here, you can do everything you want right through Restream Studio. You can do all kinds of stuff. So I'm not going to mess with that because I don't want to mess with my actual live stream. And I'm going to make sure that I'm actually on live stream. let's see here. It should be, yeah. Okay, so I'm actually live right now on YouTube. You see, with Restream, the beautiful thing is I can be live on YouTube. I can be live on Facebook, which I am right now. I can be live everywhere I want to be, and it's streaming through Restream Studio, okay? And you can basically just go straight through there and do it. What I think that does for you, it really just changes everything, because you can do your podcast live, and you can be streaming to social media, many platforms, okay? If you pay the premium price for Restream, you can be streaming to multi platforms. And then all you have to do at the end is download the cloud file and upload it to your Buzzsprout account, and it will send it to the rest of the world. So what I'm always worried about is the quickest way to distribute. The quickest way to distribute the product, the podcast, to as many places as I want. And I found that live streaming is phenomenally good, because I can do it right now through Restream. Bam, it's out to the world. I don't even have to worry about anything after that. If I want to put it on a podcast, I can download the split audio track from Restream. So it's extremely good. And it has a full online studio. So I'm going to move into branding. So what you do when you brand your thing is you go get a Canva account, canva.com. A lot of these things can be free. You might spend, like, it sounds like you're spending $12 here and then $15 here and then $12. So you're going to spend some monthly money if you want to run your company. You already know that, and so I don't have to say that much. But I would not try to get away with like the freest, cheapest version of everything if you're really serious. And I know that the people I talk to, I know at least Hannah is really serious. So don't just skimp down and be like, well, I'll get this free version of this and I'll get this free version of this, unless it does stuff. Because Buzzsprout is only $12 a month, but it does an extremely good job. There are some other platforms that will put your podcast on places for free, and, you know, Podbean and other things like that. So you might find one that's cheaper or free, but I think that from my experience, when I find a good service that's really going to help me move forward, it's going to cost a little bit of money, and I'm okay with that. I have a Canva account. It's $12 a month, but I do all of my graphics here. These are all phenomenal graphics for my podcasts, for my YouTube videos. Look at that funny face. Okay, so like this live stream mixer to iPhone. So I have all these videos up, but I made live stream gear setup. You can make these graphics really easily. I mean, just really easy, even if you're not a graphics designer. Look how great these are. I mean, these are made in like 2 minutes. You just you drag a couple images down here, and then, you know, you can make them as funny as you want. It kind of works like any editor, like Instagram. But when you're done, you can just download these and use them for your branding. Then I use this thing called link.bio. And if you don't have a website, I would say use Squarespace, but link.bio is one, and it's almost like this, you know, basically, that's not even it. What is it called? Link.bio. Anyway, it's like the shorting Linktree. Okay, so let's do Linktree. I use Linktree for Worship the King, and this is actually just like my website. All my links are here, and a lot of you guys know that, so I would put your podcast on here. This is sort of just in the idea of distributing. If you don't have a website, you can actually go to Squarespace, but that's expensive. That gets in like $30-some a month. Not too bad, but Linktree is free. So if you just need a place to send people, like your website, and you want to put all your links on here, I think some of you guys already have those. So I would use a free like link service like that. And then anything you can't do like graphics, logos, anything like that, I use Fiverr.com, Fiverr.com. Fiverr.com, actually I'm recording all of Emily's jazz stuff through Fiverr right now. We're sending off, there's people all over the world that will do like a logo for $20, or they'll, you know, mix your podcast, or they'll come up with, you know, they'll draw you, they'll brand your company, they'll do whatever you want. And then, so I would go with Fiverr for any of this creative stuff that you just can't do yourself. Pay $5 or $10 or $15, $20 or whatever. Get yourself a logo, get yourself a header, and then you will need, Canva will do all that for you. I think you can do all that stuff yourself, but then distribution is through Buzzsprout. So that I kind of already went over this. Buzzsprout is one that I use. It's really good, and it gives you stats. You can actually go in here. I haven't looked at my stats in a long time. 45 downloads the last 30 days. Okay, last 90 days. I think our podcast went down. Wow, looks like it's gone a little up. I don't know. It went up and then it went down. So, you know, it shows you where people are watching this. I like what is it called? Buzzsprout. pod.fan. I do like this one as well. I used this one for another podcast that I did, and it was free, and it gave me like an opportunity to upload podcasts, to make a little mini website. It kind of make a whole thing. And I forgot about this. Look at this. Your website, worshipbandbuilder.buzzsprout.com. You can build, it builds you your own website, sort of. Like, look how cool this is. So you don't even need a website. You can just say, go to worshipbandbuilder.buzzsprout.com, and look how cool this is. It shows all your podcasts, and they can listen to them. And so you can distribute this through your website. Like I said, I can embed them on my website. It took me a lot of time to do this. Every week I would have to embed the new thing. And if you're that crazy, then do that. But if you want it to be sort of an automatic thing, I would definitely just go with the web page of this, and then you could link this from your main website or put this in your link tree. So there's your website. It's all over the world, your podcast. And it's just basically that's kind of in a nutshell. I knocked through that pretty fast. I was burning through that material. I'm going to go back. I'll answer any questions through chat or through the YouTube channel. But just to overview, get some good audio. Decide if you're going to do audio or video. Okay, and then the next thing you need to do is just get a simple setup for your audio, and you can find some of these setups on my website. I'll try to get one of those listed up pretty soon. Editing it in Garageband or Logic. Garageband is free. That's a really good program. You want to learn how to edit it, cut off the front and the back. And then I'll say one more thing on here. When you're editing, if you want some custom music for your podcast, then you can go to the websites that give you custom, free music or download music or whatever. You can use that. Don't use the Metallica song intro for your podcast. You do not want to do that, because they will, Facebook, YouTube, they'll all strike you if you use somebody's music. If you're like, oh, I love this Bruno Mars song, I'm going to put it on the front of my podcast for my intro. That's not going to work. So you're either going to hire somebody on Fiverr to make you an intro, or if you want to, I'm trying to, the website has skipped my mind, but I use this, so podcast royalty free music, and I'll try to see, maybe it'll pop up. Yeah, audio stock, Epidemic Sounds. This is the one that I use, and this one does cost a little bit of money. I think it's like $10, $12 a month. So I don't think that you need this if you're just doing this on your own and you just need a simple little intro with some music. Just find some free, royalty-free, free little thing. But if you want to get really fancy with your YouTube channel and you're going to use this, there are hundreds of songs, but you have to continue. Be careful with this one. You have to keep paying for this, or it will strike all your videos. If I quit paying for this, they take away the license. So, you're in it, you're in it. You can't just get it. If you go to Adobe stock, or if you go to Fiverr and buy, say, hey, make a custom intro for my podcast, it would be yours. You never have to pay for it again, and it would be there. You can use GarageBand to enter that in. Let me show you on the Better Tone podcast series what it would sound like. I think I can show you what it would sound like if I just turn on my computer here. When you hear this, it'll come in, and it'll have an intro. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Worship Band Builder Podcast, where we are working with you to lay the foundation for skillful worship. Okay, so I have a little music playing, and then I talk a little bit, and then the music fades out. That's all done in post-production. But as far as I know, Restream might have even added something to that. They might even have a free, royalty-free thing now. So with Restream, and then keep going, get something to do, record it, decide if you're going to multi-stream it, decide if you're going to bring on guests. You can do all that. That gets a little more complicated, but you can do that through Restream, and then make sure you go Canva, brand yourself, get a place where people can see it, and just do all the regular social media marketing that you would do as much as you want to get traffic to your podcast. But setting up the podcast and distributing it, the most important thing would be get a good sound, and then use a service like Buzzsprout to distribute it to every platform. Once you get into Buzzsprout, you just go, you set everything up, you go through all the stuff. It's really easy to do. And then you would say directories, and you would try to get listed on, they'll let you get listed. You have to have an Apple ID to do this one. And then you just list it out, and then you just start doing it. So I will go to YouTube, and I will show you, let's see, I don't know if it's Pitt Brothers. I think it's let's see here. Pitt Brothers, P-I-T-T. Oh, I can't even do that. P-I-T-T-B-R-O-S-P-O-D-C podcast. Let's see if we can even find these guys. I don't even know if I can find them, but they were brand new, and I think I subscribed to them, but I still can't find them. So they made a simple podcast. They just used one simple camera, and that's what they did last week. That's irrelevant. You can check them out. Check out my YouTube channel. Ask me whatever question you need. Maybe I know this will have helped you, Hannah, for sure. Sort of a brain dump on how to get started. But now it's just a matter of putting together the right audio. The last thing I guess I could say is if you know somebody that knows how to do audio, like your sound guy at church or somebody that does a YouTube channel that's already done some of the stuff that you don't know how to do, just go ask them. That's what people do to me. They say, hey, how do you do this? And I was like, here's a couple cables. It can be kind of confusing and frustrating, but I like the stuff, so it's not really frustrating to me. It's a challenge. So, but for somebody, if you're not super into audio and don't have that, you might just be like, I just want to put a mic up and I just want to do my video. If that's the case, look for the USB microphone, stick it in your camera, stick it in your computer, get a little bit of audio, and just get better every time. My big thing was starting something, just get a little bit better every time. And that's what we did with our podcast. We tried and tried and tried. We did really stuff. If you go back and watch podcast 1 and keep watching, we changed angles, we changed microphones, we changed everything along the way. And, and that's what we did. So God bless you all watching this video. Subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and put your comment in there. Let me know what you want to know about podcast building. Because I will give you some more info as I move forward on the channel.